Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Fred or Oz again. Today I wanted to make a video about just kind of explaining some Thelemic symbolism, a very basic video of like what is Nuit and Hadit and Ra-Hoor-Khuit, because I think a lot of confusion often exists because these are ancient Egyptian gods, that we are somehow worshiping these Egyptian gods, or that these actually represent these Egyptian gods, when in fact Thelemites use these Egyptian archetypes to represent certain concepts and certain other ideas, and these have been chosen because of their similarity to those ideas. Okay, so in the book of the law, there are three speakers. Okay, Nuit, Hadit, and Ra-Hoor-Khuit. Okay, now these three god forms, if you will, or archetypes, relate to Egyptian deities. The Egyptian deity Nuit, or Nut, or Nuith, the Egyptian deity Hadit, or Had, and the Egyptian deity Ra-Hoor-Khuit, or Ra-Hoor-Khuit. Okay, so Nuit, the first speaker in the book of the law, to Thelemites is representative of the universe. Okay, the universe and everything contained within the universe. It's basically a representation of everything. Okay, the all-expansive, all-encompassing idea of the universe. Okay, and Nuit is represented by a circle. Okay, so it's like a circle, the container that contains everything within the universe itself. Okay, Hadit is each individual point of experience inside of Nuit. Okay, so every man and every woman is a star. Okay, these stars are Hadit. In the Gnostic Mass, we say, "O secret of secrets that is hidden in the being of all that lives." There's a lot of things. Hadit says, "I am alone. There is no God where I am." Okay, this idea of this singular point that exists is a certain experience, and each experience inside of Nuit is this point of experience, or Hadit. The flame that burns in every heart of man and in the core of every star. The Gnostic Mass says, "I am life and the giver of life. Yet therefore is the knowledge of me the knowledge of death. I am alone. There is no God where I am." Okay, so that's Hadit. It's this point of experience, the infinitesimally small point that you could conceive was the origin of the Big Bang and sprang forth and created Nuit. So you have this, all of this experience and all of this active element that is inside of the body of Nuit. Okay. Now, this could be considered God and Goddess, Hadit and Nuit. Okay, and the combination of these two forms or creates Horus, or Ra-Hoor-Khuit. Horus of two horizons, Ra-Hoor-Khuit, Ra-Hoor-Khuit. Okay, so Ra-Hoor-Khuit in Egyptian mythology really is one aspect of a deity called Heru-Ra-Ha. Okay, so you have Ra-Hoor-Khuit being the active element of Heru-Ra-Ha, and then you have Hur-Par-Krat, or Hippocrates. When you see us make the sign of silence, this is the sign of Hur-Par-Krat. These two combine to create this Heru-Ra-Ha deity. Okay, but Ra-Hoor-Khuit is representative of the crowned and conquering child, or Horus, the Avenger, this warlike god of chapter 3. Okay, but it's meant to the idea of Ra-Hoor-Khuit is meant to convey this symbolism. Okay, it's not an Egyptian deity that we worship or revere as the ancient Egyptians would have, and the same is true of Hadit and Nuit. Okay, so a symbol that encompasses this is the mark of the beast. Okay, the mark of the beast is what we call this symbol, if you Google it or find it, okay, this symbol, it looks like you're staring into a dig, okay? It's very phallic in nature, which gives it an air of creative energy, okay? So it encompasses Hadit and Nuit. Hadit, the symbol, is a point, okay? And Nuit, the symbol, is the circle, all right? And then when you put those two symbols together, you get the astrological symbol for the sun. Okay, this is also representative of Nuit and Hadit, the universe and the point of experience inside of the universe. So like when I talked about Wicca and stuff, there's a lot of stuff about the point within the center of the circle, the point without which we would not be, and all this stuff in the Alexandrian rituals and stuff. And that's basically relating to Nuit and Hadit and depicting the astrological symbol of the sun. Now, obviously, the sun is a very important concept within Thelema. It is the sphere of Tifereth, which we strive towards on our way up the middle pillar to attempt to attain knowledge and conversation of the Holy Guardian Angel. This occurs in Tifereth, which is the sphere on the Tree of Life that is represented by the sun, okay? So the mark of the beast encompasses also the symbol of the moon. Now, so you have sun and moon conjoined. You have this unification of opposites, or love, okay? So the unification of opposites. Again, we know that's a common theme throughout Thelema that we've talked about over and over. And then added to that, did I show that? The sun and the moon, the sun and the moon conjoined, okay? So then you get this part of the symbol. Now, if you Google the mark of the beast, you will see that the symbol that we'll complete here in a moment is often depicted inside of a septagram, a 7-pointed star with a circle around it. But if you really want to see the mark of the beast, remove the star, and then you come up with this, the mark of the beast, okay? So as you can see, it looks like a penis, all right? Now, I'm unsure where this portion of it comes from. I'm not a scholar, and I'm not an expert in symbolism, so if anybody knows exactly what that lower symbol is, leave it down in the comments. But this is the Thelemic mark of the beast, okay? Now, one can imagine Horus, or the crowned and conquering child, being a result of the conjunction of the sun and the moon, the masculine and the feminine. And then you have this penis-looking thing that, you know, kind of alludes toward this creative force by conjoining the sun and the moon that creates Horus, or the crowned and conquering child. And in Egyptian mythology, we see Isis and Osiris, and, you know, Set slays Osiris, and then Isis, like, gets herself pregnant, and then Horus is born, and then Horus slays Set, etc., okay? So this is not directly related to the Egyptian mythology. It is simply concepts that we use these archetypes to represent. So don't let yourself get too confused. You know, studying and looking at the representations of the actual Egyptian deities can be useful. I mean, I'm not saying it's not useful, because they were chosen for a reason. But at the same time, these are concepts that we simply use these archetypes to represent, okay? So if you look at the Stele of Revealing, you have the lady over the top, okay? She's arched over the top with all the stars inside of her, and that is Nuit, or Nuit, okay? And she has all these stars all over her. So every man and every woman is a star. We are all contained inside the body of Nuit, okay? All these points of experience, or Hadit, contained inside the body of Nuit. And so this is why we this is why these concepts are so useful. I mean, why the archetypes are so useful is because they match up in a lot of ways. And then a Hadit is also represented on the stele and on many Egyptian things as the disc, the winged solar disc that represents Ra. So you've got, like, I have it tattooed on me here. The solar disc is also representative of Hadit. It is that point. And this idea of Ra-Hoor-Khuit is like the product of the combination of these forces creates Horus, or the crown and conquering child. We have the Aeon of Horus, which is Isis, the Aeon of Isis, and the Aeon of Osiris, and then the Aeon of Horus. So it's like a conjunction of these two that birth forth this new thing, the Aeon of Horus, or Ra-Hoor-Khuit. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. You know, like, I know it's very basic, guys, and I'm not a great Thelemic scholar, and I'm not like an expert on symbolism, but I just kind of wanted to show you what the representations kind of are, and also make sure that you understand that we're not worshiping and revering these ancient Egyptian deities, but rather they're being used to represent certain concepts that are core concepts for Thelema. And it just makes an easy way to talk about them, even though it can confuse people who aren't aware that we're not actually talking about the Egyptian deities. I've seen like articles and stuff that say like, well, Crowley got it wrong about this and that when they're talking about the Egyptian deities, but that's because they're just these concepts that are wrapped up in these archetypes to convey these messages in more simple ways. Anyway, I hope that was useful. I hope you enjoy the content. Hit that subscribe button, like the video, leave me a comment down below if there's something I've missed, you know, like to help the new people that stumble on this video. And consider joining the Patreon or buying a t-shirt in the description below to help support the channel. And I appreciate your support, and I appreciate all you guys watching. Love is the law. Love under will.